right, everyone. Welcome back into Go Throw's production of the 2025 Taupō Classic presented by Kosana, New Zealand. This is the final round, front nine from Spa Park. I'm Nate Perkins here with five-time world champion Juliana Korver. What a beautiful setting for the game. Talk about that final day. What was the wind like?
Well, it was detectable. I mean, it was still fairly minor compared to what we saw at Egg Monster, but it did make you think about your shots a little bit.
Taylor Choceck, 10 under par through 2 rounds, shot 7 under yesterday.
Could have easily been an 8.
She had that outside the bullseye putt on 18. Emily Weatherman did birdie 18 to get within 2 of Taylor. She's been playing really clean golf.
She has such good control of her angles.
Sofia Donnecke, she's 10 strokes back. She won last weekend's Tour Down Under event at Inglewood. She's dropping bombs all over the course. Was a little left side on those putts yesterday. Let's see if she can get back on the pole today. JK, you're 2 over par. Not your best performance yesterday. Like we said, top 3 cash, so you're battling for that 3rd spot today.
That's right. Here we are, starting on hole 1. It is a par 5, 702 feet. It is a slightly downhill drive. There is a layup zone right here. Otherwise, if you're going for the second landing zone, you have to make it through a double mando. Fairway then turns 90 degrees to the right. It's still a long shot to the basket, and the basket is perched just beyond the ridge of this hill, and it drops off drastically behind the basket.
To the one and only Juliana Korver. He gave me a lot of help. I'm sorry, Juliana. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Juliana. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. What is that button?
54.
54. Yes.
All right. Okay, so here we are.
This will be the first tournament round that I've ever played on my birthday.
That seems impossible.
Well, it's January, so
Okay, yeah.
I'm usually in the winter in Iowa.
Okay, that makes sense.
Shout out this round. Shout out Goose on the fan. Shout out my partner Sofia for all the support. Shout out Ray for the ridiculous good round yesterday. This is Taylor Choceck.
Little friendship blooming there between Taylor and Sofia. Pretty good caddy-player relationship blooming there with Aaron as well. Is that nuke gonna turn for her? I don't think so. I think that's a miss mandatory, and it is.
This is from Alabama, Texas. Please put your hands together for Emily Weatherman.
Emily's been playing this putter shot to the mouth, not bringing the mandatory in play at all.
Great job.
Great position. Able to attack on your second shot.
She shouted out in a bomb. Emily's head. Her caddy Andrew's playing everything and getting in the caddy job. Every day.
Wait, you said 40. I said 40. You said 40.
And May 40. He's looking so young. But he's doing some hard for her class. Sofia Donnecke.
British Columbia, Canada. Cruising through the mandatory. Just no problem. Getting that disc up in the air, turned.
All right. Fourth and final. Come from Iowa. Shout out to Taupō and all volunteers. We appreciate her coming back with us. Defend her title. This is Juliana Korver.
And all 3 days playing the putter.
Have a great round, ladies. Enjoy it.
Now, what's the aiming point right here?
There's a tree in the background that I want to turn just in front of. I didn't get the turn, but I'm still within range to get into the basket if I'm aggressive enough.
Little kiss off the tree. That might put her back down in the valley.
She stayed on top.
Okay.
She lost distance, but she did stay on top.
Nice nuke forehand from Taylor. Green light for Sofia.
Fading a little off to the right, but the distance was good.
Kind of came out of her hand early. That's headed toward the out of bounds line. Going to check up just short. Really no putt to be had from over there. Now, what's the atmosphere like on these cards compared to, a DGPT event?
Much lighter.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, there's still a little bit of intensity, especially with the crowd and the cameras, but it doesn't have the same gravity that the DGPT events have.
Taylor caught on top of that forehand approach and found another OB on the opening hole. Couple of smart layups. Also in layup zone right here. Don't know too many people that would be running that.
Well, not too many women. Men might be running that one.
Okay, big mistakes here on the opening hole. Going to drop at least a couple strokes.
There's a birdie.
Gonna be a 7 for Taylor. All tied at the top, just like that.
Hole 2, par 5, 751 feet. First shot has to make it over the top of these trees, and then there's a pretty big landing zone. Second shot just needs to make sure that it stays in bounds. There's an out of bounds in the tall grass on the right. There's an out of bounds before the rough on the left. It is reachable. There is a potential for an eagle on this one from the top throwers.
Max weight Halo Destroyer here. Yeah, good width.
It's a great position. We'll have another hyzer into the basket.
Evelina Destroyer here for Emily.
Also in a very good position.
Flattening it out. Will it have enough?
It clips the top of that tree. Oh, I'm sorry. I did make it over.
Wow.
Got my rounds confused there.
Huge shot.
Yeah, I don't know how it got up that far.
I mean, that's well over 400 feet. No, she finds the last bit of out of bounds.
And if that had skipped any bit more, it would have been back into safety.
This shot's blind. It's pretty tricky. Really have to trust it, and that is well thrown. That's going to be an eagle putt for Emily. Nearly identical. 2 eagle putts coming up. Now, you surely didn't land here in practice.
What do you mean? No, you're right.
Are you-
That's well in front of where I landed. And so I threw a slower speed. That was a Roadrunner, and I wasn't quite sure how much to put on it. So I also ended up outside of circle one, or just on the edge of circle one.
Big moment for Taylor. Let's see if she can collect herself after 3 OB strokes in the first 2. Yeah. Yeah, committed.
Right on line, too high.
A little strong. Last opportunity for eagle here. High and left again.
It's a little strange walking off the green, feeling like you're disappointed, but still taking a birdie.
That is interesting. Such a big shift psychologically when you change to par.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 3 shots on the hole for Taylor and an OB stroke for the 4. Not going to drop a stroke to Emily. And that's a birdie frame.
Hole 3, par 4, 400 feet. The drive is to get it underneath the canopy of the trees here, right as the land slopes up. So it's a small window. The approach is actually made easier. Baskets push back farther, but it's on a slope, so you've got a backstop that you can throw into.
Sofia's been playing this a little different than the rest of the card. Going for the window on the left. That destroyer needs to get back on edge. Cutting it close. I think she's safe over there.
Yeah, I believe so. She's very close to the OB, but not in it. Emily throwing this very well all 3 rounds.
And you're 2 for 2 on it. Let's see if you can match Emily once again. Looks a little earlier.
And a little nose up, so I got a little skip at the end.
Oh, and it just slides out. Taylor's been pulling this one over to the right side a bit. It's funny how some holes just seem to have a magnetism for you to one side of the fairway.
Exactly.
3 days in a row, she's over here. This is pretty open, though.
Yeah, she's been able to clean it up every single time. Well, clean it up. I mean, she's still gotten a birdie. However, this time it's a little wide on her approach.
And the zone does not climb back in bounds. That's going to be 4 OBs now through 3. And just safe for Sofia. Now, you haven't approached from over here yet.
It's about the same distance, just a different angle.
This could be a moment for Emily to pick up 2. Okay, Taylor could still make this for par. Just outside the circle. Wow, and she jams it in there. Let's run it back.
It was a little high, but the basket did a great job catching that one.
My one chain pulls it in. Turkey start. And Emily has taken the outright lead.
Hole 4, par 4, 558 feet. There's a layup right here before this OB bubble, and then you just try to land safe on the second shot, or you can go for the second landing zone with a long drive. The basket is surrounded by OB. This is one of the most beautiful baskets on the course.
Would you say this is the signature hole?
Yes, it's definitely the signature green.
Yeah. Sofia clearing the OB bubble
Yes.
again. It's so casual, too.
Just like her throw through the double mando on one.
Emily's been playing this safe all 3 days now. As have you. Pushing a little closer to that OB line today, but that's perfection.
Taylor's gone for it every day so far.
Little hesitation on the tee pad. This looks clean now. Can it bite? Sam's going to check it out. That's a red flag. Wow.
But she does get to take it on the other side. It's a great layup.
All right, JK AVR. Little low, but it's going to... No.
It does not.
It does not get back in.
Big mistake.
So it's pretty much a rethrow.
Exactly.
Oh, Sofia putting a little Annie English on it. That finds the circle. Sliding it up there. All right, 3 similar putts coming up. Sophia's straight toward the river.
For birdie.
She got one on day 2, I believe. That would have been spectacular to get her second. Emily's going to drop one here. Front rim. And over the top. Taylor to pick up a stroke with the par save.
Having a PDGA membership is one of the best ways to engage and compete with your local disc golf community. Being an active member gives you access to thousands of sanctioned events and leagues around the world. From local events to majors, there's an event out there for you. So sign up and join the over 100,000 active members today. Visit pdga.com/join to learn more, and we'll see you out on the course.
If you want to know what a disc is going to feel like before you get it, you have to check out OTB Disc. The first thing I'm looking for when I grab a new disc is the feel of the disc. It's got to be confidence instilled. Virtually in your hand, it tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
It's really, really helpful in not only finding a disc that looks beautiful, but is also exactly what you're looking for it to feel like. Of course, when you're dealing with OTB, you're going to get only the best.
Welcome back. This is hole number 5. It's a par 3, 266 feet. Plays slightly uphill, so it plays longer than the 266. There is a mandatory on the right-hand side, so you have to play the straight shot.
And on this tee pad, if you turn around, you get a great view of the hot spring that flows out of the ground and into the Waikato River. It's the reason this place is named Spa Park. It's been a destination for hundreds of years, going back to when the Maoris inhabited the land without us white folk intervening and renaming all the spots. But it's certainly a disc golf destination.
Without a doubt, this is such a nice course.
Look at that shot.
Beautiful line, perfect control.
Couple of wind reads for you here. Oh, and that kind of rode from left to right into that wind. Good pace, maybe not the height you were looking for birdie. Oh no, finds the rim again.
Solid birdie, Emily.
She's gonna take the solo lead again.
Hole 6, par 4, 397 feet, throwing out of this gap over a valley. There is a mandatory tree on the left that we must stay to the right of. There's also OB on the left and right and behind. Trying to get up over that ridge so that you've got a good eye view of the basket.
Emily hasn't been attacking this green, just playing to the top of the hill. Do you think that would change if it was a par 3? Would it incentivize her to go for the basket?
I don't feel like it would with Emily.
Okay.
I think it might with others.
Sofia's certainly attacking and just flattening the destroyer out a little bit, but that's 48 feet for the eagle. I believe Taylor has already two'd this hole once.
Well, she's definitely got it pin high.
She also flattens her drive out. Very similar spot. Couple of eagle looks coming up. And you're also just trying to land on the top of the hill.
Yes. Just want to keep it in bounds. Tiny bit too high on that approach, catching those limbs and falling well short of what I wanted. It's one thing that I admire about Emily. She's just completely unflappable. It seems like she's impervious to what's going on, good or bad, with her opponents, and she just sticks to her game plan and does what she knows that she can do the best.
Notice that with a lot of the great players, huh? Just seem to have blinders on.
Mm-hmm.
Sofia nearly drops it in.
That's 3 putts in a row right off the front of the basket.
From deep for birdie. Oh, it just slammed by that tailwind. Yeah, 4 here. It's tough.
Yeah, par definitely feels like a bogey. Hole 7, par 3, 335 feet. Slightly uphill until you get to the green, and then it's drastically uphill. That bushy tree in front plays defense on your way to the basket.
So this tournament really went just beyond this disc golf course, though. I mean, talk about some of the activities. I saw a lot of these players on a jet boat.
Jet boating, I took part in that.
Going-
Bungee jumping.
You bungee jumped again.
I
JK.
did, yes. It was a thrill for sure.
I think a lot of these people bungee jumped for the first time in their lives, and yeah, that jet boat, it went up the Waikato River up to Hookah Falls, which is just one of the North Island's marvels. Just clear blue water, just raging.
So the jet boats were invented in New Zealand. And
Were.
yeah, and so this boat holds 16, 17 people. And the most remarkable thing is it only needs 15 centimeters. That's about 6 inches of water.
Just flying up the river.
Yeah, we were going 90 kilometers an hour, about 55 miles per hour.
It's fast on the water.
This is a tough position to attack. And Emily does it very well.
Yep, don't love this.
No, I couldn't go to the high side. I knew I needed to throw something overstable that would come back and match the slope of the hill so it wouldn't roll.
And Taylor up near the tee pad, and she just flies it. I mean, that was a hard shot. She needed to get that on the ground, and it's going to cost her at least 1. Pretty scary putt right here. Oh, can you talk about why you went to the straddle? Was that wind related?
It was actually because of the topography of the green.
Okay.
So my left foot was behind my marker, and I put my right foot down the hill to try to get a little bit closer to the height of the basket instead of putting so drastically downhill at it.
Really nice birdie from Sofia. She's 5 down through 7.
That was a really hard birdie for our division, so very well done. Hole 8, par 4, 420 feet. Flying over this ridge, and then if you've got the power, back down to the basket. There is out of bounds surrounding the entire hole. Gets a little bit closer behind the basket.
Sofia's trusty lightweight destroyer. Looks to be hyzering a little early. Look at that. That's pin high. That's C1 as well. A little bit of a scary putt. It's an old pin position right there.
Exactly. The old one used to be an island.
I personally liked it better, but only because it was a little shorter. How do you feel about it? You want that island back, or do you like this
Well,
shorter par 4?
I like the fact that there wasn't quite as much anxiety on the drive. It this year it was much easier to get on the imagined island from last year than it was last year.
Venom flying out early, doesn't have a chance. Taylor seems to be a little off balance today, finding almost every OB.
Well,
Oh, slow down. JK just launches it into the OB.
I thought that was fine. I thought it was going to hit the base and just missed it.
Now, was that wind related? That tailwind just kind of carried it versus dropping it?
Yeah, I expected that to drop.
Now, can you touch or speculate a little on what you think is the difference with Taylor this day?
So she starts off with all those OBs, and it feels like maybe there's a little frenetic energy, and she feels like she has to get it back, and so she's trying a little bit extra hard, and she's missing her lines because she has almost every hole she has an opportunity to make up a stroke if she can use full power to her advantage. But if she's off just a little bit, that full power is gonna bite her.
It's that golfer's paradox, isn't it? The harder you try, the harder it is.
Mm-hmm.
Emily picking up another. Extend the lead to 3. Sofia extending the lead on you.
Hole 9, par 4, 528 feet. This hole turns to the right the entire way. It has an OB line on the left that definitely comes into play because you don't want to be too far right into all of the foliage. The basket is tucked back here in a little protected green. Sofia right in the middle of the fairway.
Plenty of trust with that mid. Just a little too much turn that time. Nuko S here, aiming high into the clouds, looking for that fade. Did she get it flat enough? It's a little tight. Kind of takes away the chance at birdie if you cut it too tight. Hey, switching up discs today.
Still a putter.
And slowed down. And there's the slide, the Taupō slide.
Yeah.
And that wind is just grabbing a hold, pushing it inside. Starting to pick up on you guys.
Yeah, it was really starting to be noticeable. And that's why I switched from one putter to the other off the tee.
Look at this.
Great control with that slight turnover.
Sofia in a great spot. Trusting it into the wind for a moment. Late fade. Look at this. C1 might be the first that we've seen. That's the common miss I feel with the forehand. It's just, you said it a couple times, it's hard to find an aiming point.
Exactly. But I do want to commend Taylor for the amount of power that she can generate with a standstill and kind of an awkward position. And she still had plenty of power to get to the basket. Unfortunately, just found the trees instead.
Oh, that kind of looked like it caught chains for a moment. She'll have 15 feet left. A really well played hole from Emily. Never any risk of going out of bounds. Sofia for birdie. And she corrects her left side misses. And just a little strong for that right side that time.
Yeah, not much. That could have stayed in. Just slips through. I'm behind the yeah. I'm not very far away, but barely see the basket.
Second double. All right, Sofia finishes at 6 under on that front 9. Couple of turkeys there. Taylor finds out of the OB. She finds herself 3 back of Emily now.
Emily playing strong and steady.
Yeah, that wind is starting to pick up on you guys. You've got 9 more holes to determine the champion here in Taupō. Really want to give a big shout out to Ken Harris and Steve Lawson and all the volunteer hours put in from the Taupō Disc Golf Club. Truly one of the better disc golf tournaments in the world. I mean, it feels easy for me to say that because of the setting here and just the professionalism and all the activities that the tournament directors kind of encourage and allow for the players to go on.
They really put their heart and soul into this event.
All right, guys, just 9 more holes. Thanks for joining myself and JK here on Go Throw. We'll see you soon.